Presidential speeches to Congress serve as a critical platform for the president to communicate policy priorities and set legislative agendas. These speeches, notably the State of the Union Address, are constitutionally mandated, as the president is required to provide Congress with information on the state of the Union and propose necessary legislative measures. Such addresses are pivotal in framing policy debates and ensuring transparency between the executive and legislative branches, effectively bridging the administration's plans with lawmakers' responsibilities. The State of the Union Address has become a vital tradition in American politics, symbolizing the president's opportunity to outline the country's current condition and his priorities for the upcoming year to both Congress and the American public. Typically delivered annually in the early part of the year, this address goes beyond mere reporting. It serves as a ceremonial occasion where the president can deliver extended remarks about his legislative vision, reflecting on past successes while setting the stage for future aspirations, thereby reinforcing presidential leadership and intent. Presidential speeches to Congress, particularly the State of the Union, are crafted not only for legislative members, but also for the broader American populace. These occasions are rich with rhetorical flourish and strategic communication, meticulously designed to convey presidential authority and vision. By addressing the nation, the president can directly influence public perception, bolster confidence, and articulate how policies will impact daily life, effectively transforming legislative policy goals into relatable narratives that resonate with citizens' values and concerns. Extended presidential addresses can significantly impact legislative processes and public opinion. Lengthy speeches allow detailed exposition of complex issues and proposed policies, potentially swaying legislative priorities and actions. They also offer presidents an opportunity to directly appeal to the public, seeking to boost approval ratings by demonstrating comprehensive understanding and leadership of key issues. Thus, by capturing media and public attention, long addresses can alter the political and public discourse landscape, influencing both immediate reactions and long-term perspectives towards the presidency. Delivering lengthy speeches presents notable challenges, particularly in maintaining audience engagement and effectively conveying complex policies. Presidents must strike a delicate balance, ensuring the speech remains accessible and engaging, while avoiding oversimplification of nuanced issues. This requires skillful speechwriting and dynamic delivery to captivate varied audiences and maintain momentum. The inherent difficulty lies in ensuring clarity without sacrificing depth, compelling the audience through well-structured arguments, impactful anecdotes, and a clear vision that resonates both politically and emotionally across diverse audiences. Overview of longest speeches. On March 4, 2025, President Donald Trump delivered a groundbreaking address to a joint session of Congress, clocking in at nearly 100 minutes. This speech set a new benchmark for presidential orations, marking a significant departure from previously recorded lengths. Covering topics ranging from international policies to domestic achievements, Trump's extensive discourse not only captivated Congress but also the global audience, setting a powerful precedent for the communicative reach and agenda-setting potential inherent in presidential addresses. President Bill Clinton's 2000 State of the Union address made history as the longest of its time, lasting 88.82 minutes. This comprehensive speech covered numerous policy issues, aiming to solidify achievements and outline future goals in domestic and foreign policy. Clinton's lengthy address was pivotal in reflecting and influencing national discourse, showcasing the administration's policy scope while marshaling legislative and public support to extend political and economic strategies as the new millennium unfolded. On January 10, 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson delivered a notable State of the Union address lasting over 71 minutes. With the country deeply engaged in pivotal socio-political issues, Johnson's address was comprehensive, tackling pressing matters such as civil rights, poverty alleviation, and the Vietnam War. This detailed articulation of presidential intent and vision captured the complexities of an era marked by transformation and contention, eloquently balancing national challenges with aspirations for collaborative progress. In 2023, President Joe Biden took the spotlight with a 73-minute State of the Union address. Packed with pivotal policies and proposals, Biden's speech reflected contemporary challenges like economic recovery, healthcare, and international relations. His comprehensive presentation illustrated his administration's focus and strategic priorities, drawing attention to shared goals and collaborative paths forward amidst global uncertainties, resonating with a broad audience both domestically and abroad, thus reinforcing democratic ideals through detailed strategic communication. Historically, periods of significant political and social change often prompt presidents to deliver lengthier addresses to Congress. These speeches serve as critical platforms to articulate comprehensive policies and lay out broad visions aimed at steering the nation through transitions and challenges. By engaging extensively with Congress and the public during these pivotal times, presidents can effectively rally support, clarify intentions, and address national concerns, thus leveraging these protracted orations to foster understanding and collective momentum toward desired outcomes. Donald Trump's speech to a joint session of Congress on March 4, 2025, was 100 minutes long, setting a record for the lengthiest presidential discourse in recent memory. This address aimed to outline key policy directions while consolidating gains from his administration. With an extensive duration, Trump covered multifaceted issues, reflecting complexities around economic and international strategies, thereby redefining speech delivery in terms of scope and depth of narrative. President Bill Clinton's speech on January 27, 2000, remains memorable for its 82-minute duration, marking the longest State of the Union address at that time. This address highlighted Clinton's overarching policy frameworks, providing a junction between past achievements and future plans in areas such as economic prosperity, educational reform, and health care. His comprehensive address demonstrated not only the breadth of issues addressed, but also the depth of commitment towards sustaining and enhancing public welfare. In a pivotal State of the Union address on January 10, 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson delivered a speech lasting over 71 minutes. This address underscored significant national concerns such as civil liberties, economic disparity, and the ongoing challenges related to the Vietnam War. Johnson's vision articulated during this speech reflected the intricacies of his presidency's legislative priorities, aiming to unify legislative support for his ambitious domestic and foreign policy agendas. President Joe Biden's State of the Union address on February 7, 2023, lasted 73 minutes, demonstrating a detailed narrative encompassing economic recovery, healthcare, climate policy, and international collaborations. Biden's speech was designed to address contemporary issues, highlighting the administration's strategic initiatives while fostering bipartisan collaboration through a blend of rhetorical finesse and factual discourse. This address offered insights into the administration's commitment towards addressing immediate national priorities within a complex global context. Taking the stage on January 19, 1978, President Jimmy Carter delivered a State of the Union address lasting 46 minutes. Within this concise address, Carter reviewed policies and outlined his administration's vision, focusing primarily on domestic energy policies and economic strategies. Despite its relatively shorter length compared to other extensive addresses, Carter's speech was rich in objectives and policy commitments, resonating effectively with Congress and setting the stage for subsequent legislative initiatives. In modern times, presidents have increasingly adopted longer addresses to comprehensively communicate their agendas to Congress. President Donald Trump's 2025 address, nearly 100 minutes long, exemplified this trend, packed with extensive policy discussions and strategic projections. Similarly, President Joe Biden's 2023 address highlighted interconnected themes of domestic and international importance, reflecting the complex and wide-ranging challenges faced by modern administrations. These extended speeches enable presidents to delve deeper into multifaceted issues while articulating detailed visions for policy implementation. Technological advances have significantly transformed how presidential addresses are delivered and consumed. The widespread and immediate availability of modern broadcasting technologies enables speeches to be accessible to a global audience, increasing their reach and impact. This extensive exposure compels presidents to consider prolonged and thorough articulation of their agendas, ensuring that complex policies resonate across diverse viewing platforms. By leveraging technology, speeches are transformed into critical vehicles for mass engagement, enhancing public dialogue and shaping perceptions beyond the confines of Congress. In times of national upheaval or substantial reform demand, presidential speeches often extend to accommodate detailed discourse on critical issues. Elaborated orations during such periods serve dual purposes: to unify the nation under shared challenges and to propose comprehensive strategies aimed at addressing those urgencies. Recognizing the gravity of civil and legislative expectations, presidents navigate complex narratives, providing reassurance and transparency, laying out clear intentions, and rallying support needed to tackle foreseen and unforeseen national challenges. A president's capability to engage Congress and the public over extended speeches underscores their rhetorical and communicative expertise. The structure and delivery of such addresses reflect an adept blending of policy and rhetoric, carefully interwoven to maintain momentum and audience interest. The ability to sustain engaging dialogue and thoroughly develop narratives requires professional speech delivery skills that ensure messages are impactful, leaving a lasting impression that embodies the presidential vision, ultimately reinforcing the leader's credibility and authority. Evolving speechwriting techniques have adapted to meet the demands of a diverse modern audience, influencing the length and nature of presidential addresses. This evolution encompasses strategies to incorporate compelling storytelling, precise data presentation, and emotive appeals, ensuring engagement and clarity across varied socio-political landscapes. By meticulously crafting speeches that align with contemporary communicative styles and audience expectations, presidents can effectively bridge narrative depth with accessibility, enhancing their message's resonance and fostering a more informed and participatory public dialogue. Historical impact of long speeches. Long presidential speeches serve as pivotal platforms for outlining significant policy shifts and legislative priorities. Such extensive addresses offer the president ample opportunity to articulate comprehensive policy changes and strategic initiatives in depth, illustrating the intended transformation landscape. By detailing these policy directions and objectives, presidents can influence legislative action, create a framework for public discourse, and potentially foster consensus, prompting collaboration among lawmakers who may be swayed by the comprehensive presentation of goals and necessitated governmental priorities. The extensive coverage media provides to long presidential speeches profoundly shapes public discourse and narrative. These speeches, meticulously dissected by media outlets, secure the public's focus on presidential priorities while also scrutinizing policy details for strengths, weaknesses, and potential impacts. Such an in-depth media examination informs public understanding, stimulates discussion, and elevates visibility of the issues at hand. Consequently, presidential addresses become dynamic focal points for media conversation, extending their influence beyond immediate legislative chambers and into national dialogue. The political ramifications of long presidential addresses extend significantly, influencing a president's standing and electoral prospects. By effectively articulating policy intentions and showcasing leadership, these speeches can fortify the president's political base, persuade undecided constituents, and potentially shift adversarial perspectives. However, if mishandled, such speeches can equally expose vulnerabilities, undermine credibility, or provoke opposition, impacting public perception and political trajectory. Thus, these speeches are strategic communications, pivotal in defining election cycles and shaping administrative legacies. Presidential addresses act as mirrors to the cultural and political climate of their times, encapsulating societal challenges, aspirations, and values. These speeches intricately weave together the collective experiences and prevailing sentiments, offering narrative cohesion to diverse national dialogues. By reflecting the zeitgeist, presidents can engage the nation in shared stories and inclusive visions, shaping cultural identity and interpreting political evolution, guiding society through transitions, aspirations, and trials, with carefully articulated resonance aligned with public sentiments. Long, impactful speeches form cornerstone elements in establishing a president's historical legacy. By articulating pivotal achievements and projecting future goals through eloquence and strategic clarity, these addresses cement a lasting imprint in presidential memory and public consciousness. Such speeches are often revisited and studied as benchmarks of leadership, eloquence, and vision, marking significant moments, reinforcing historical narratives, and contributing substantively to the enduring dialogue that defines a president's tenure and influence well beyond their term.